All right, everybody, welcome to One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and today is Monday, June the 22nd. I don't know about you guys, actually, June 23rd. Sunday was the 22nd. This time is just flying by, and as you know, it's hot out, but I'm thankful we got past a lot of the rain. Now, right now, I'm up here in Iowa visiting my daughter and son-in-law and grandkids, and it's getting ready to rain up here, but it's still hot. So, regardless, it just kind of follows me around wherever I go. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We've got a great program for you. Tonight on the program, we have Alexandria Underwood, and she's a graduate of Helias Catholic. And we're going to talk to her a little bit about her article in Sports Soccer Magazine and quite a few other things that she's up to now and what she's got planned for the future. So I wanted to get into showing you her article a little bit in Sports Soccer Magazine. It's in the May June issue. And as you can see, great photography, great article. And of course, you can see the medals and stuff that she has there. And then she has a whole bunch more that she can share with us about as far as her accomplishments. So if you haven't been able to check out her article through the printed page, which we have available at Hy-Vee in Jefferson City and Cal's Thriftway in California, or if you just happen to have one come to you in the mail, if you haven't checked that out, go to sportssoccermagazine.com and you can see her article on our website in the digital edition. You can do that. Here's the second page, and again, just great photography, great article. We'll ask her some questions just to find out what other people thought about it. But with that, let's go ahead and bring on Alexandria right now. Hey, Alexandria, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. Like I was sharing, it's a little hot up here too, but
Yes.
it's just kind
Yes, it's
of
been
that's what
pretty
it's supposed to
warm,
be. Yeah, it
right?
it
Yeah,
it beats all that rain.
I know. I'm happy that it's been a little bit warmer in Jeff City lately.
Yeah,
Summer's been a little bit too cold for my liking, but now we're good with the heat.
yeah. And the only bad thing is now the grass has grown crazy, and I had to mow 2 times in 1 week. That was just crazy.
Yeah, my dad has been out there quite a bit lately.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and start talking about your article. And again, thanks for coming on. But tell us a little bit about the article and what that meant to you. What did you think about it?
Yeah, so whenever I got the email about, oh, hey, by the way, like you're being featured in sports soccer, I was really excited. And I kind of didn't know like what the questions were going to look like or what the article was going to be set up like. And then whenever I got to the questions, I realized that it was a lot more personal than I thought it was, which I was really excited about. And I was excited to be able to kind of share my story and share kind of what my experience has been at Helias with my different teams that I've been able to be on. But yeah, it was really cool. I was really excited to be able to not only share my own story, but my teammates' stories and my friends and family stories who have all been kind of a part of the same journey with me these last 4 years. But yeah, it was really cool and a really great experience that I'm really grateful for.
Well, I just want to add into that the athletic directors for your school, they're the ones that go through and they select who it is that's going to represent.
Yes.
And so they thought very highly of you. And, you know how many student athletes you have at your school. So um,
Right.
obviously you've done a great job and they just wanted you to represent the school. So kudos to them. They did
Yeah.
a good
Super
job.
cool. Super
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about your photo shoot and what was that experience like?
Yeah, so it was nice to kind of get out of class for a little bit. But it was really fun meeting the photographers, and I actually got to do it with my coach.
Mhm.
She was the coach that was featured as well in the May June. But yeah, it was really fun because we both kind of got to talk to them about our season and like what we had to come and what we've gotten to experience. And yeah, it was super nice, super fun, super easy. And the photographers, it was funny because they were like, we don't do a lot of dancers or cheerleaders
Yeah.
or so we don't know like what is good photo. So
Right.
they did a really good job about on like the kicks or the jumps or any of the tricks that they wanted me to do or that I wanted to showcase. they were really great about like asking me. They were like, "Is this a good shot?" Like we have.
All right, looks like we had a little delay on you there for just a little bit. Can you still hear me okay? Okay.
Are
Can you
we
hear me?
back? Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Good. All
Yes.
right.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Well, so that's my daughter and son-in-law. They were the photographers. My son-in-law, he's helped as far as organizing, getting you the questionnaire, getting it back, and doing all those types of things. But we like to have him around because he's comic relief. So
Yes.
it's a lot of fun.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yes.
if I can remember right, you had to obviously do different jumps. You had to do it multiple times in order to
Yes.
just catch you at just the right moment. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
I'm pretty used to it. Whenever we do anything with like front row film or any of like other dance or anything related photo shoots,
Yeah,
all dancers are used to having to do things multiple times in order to get the right shot. So,
yeah.
yeah, it was really cool.
Well, you did good. What did your friends and family think about your article, and what have they been saying?
They loved it. As soon as it came out, I texted my family group chat and I was like, "Hey guys, like it's out." And my sister was the first one to read it, and she immediately texted back, was like, "I'm crying. This is amazing." And yeah, my mom and dad and grandma, grandpa, everyone, they really enjoyed it because they thought that whatever was said in the article was super just authentic to who I was, and they thought that whatever information I'd given you guys was perfectly portrayed, and it was just a really well written article that all of us will cherish for a long time, and it'll be in the house for, I'm sure, the next 20 years, so I can always come home and read it.
Awesome. Well, did you sign any autographs? Anybody have you sign autographs?
Not yet. I haven't run into that one yet, but
Okay.
you never know.
All right. Well, you can tell them, hey, I'm getting ready to go on into the next phase of my life. I'd be willing to sign an autograph for some, help out,
Right.
whatever it
There
is,
you
meals,
go. Yeah.
do that. Hey, before we go on, I want to encourage anybody that's watching, thanks for joining us. And feel free to make any comments, or if you have any questions, put those in the comment section, and we'd be happy to bring that onto the program as well. So we want to have interaction with you guys too. And just getting to know a little bit more about Alexandria tonight, and so just excited to hear some of this other stuff. But what I want to find out next is um, how did you get started with dance? I mean, how early, and when did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so my mom grew up a dancer. She started probably, I think she said that she had started probably at the ripe age of 4. She grew up dancing. She ended up going to college for dance and always knew that if she was to have any daughters that they would be doing the same as her. So me and my sister both grew up dancers. I started taking classes around 3 and ended up being on my first competitive team. I think I was 5 or 6, so like the youngest that you could possibly start on a competitive team, I was on it. But yeah, so I grew up dancing my entire life and I started to get really into competing and kind of looking at other outlooks and ways to find dance in my everyday life, especially whenever we moved from Oklahoma to Missouri whenever I was going in my 6th grade year. And it was hard for me because I was trying to transition into a new studio, figuring out what was going to be my new home. And whenever I found my new studio and I met the girls that were there and the teaching staff and everything with that, I knew that this is whenever I wanted to start really pursuing dance and really getting super serious with it. So that's whenever I kind of really locked into the competition world. And come high school, I was super excited to join the Helias dance team.
Hmm.
And ever since then, I've just been super excited about it and looking for new opportunities and new ways to accomplish new goals every single day. And it's just been really fun for me. So, yeah,
Yeah, that's a. You've had a lot of stuff that has gone on. I mean, making that move at sixth grade, and just getting ready to
right.
go in. I mean, that's an adjustment. So, but it appears you
Yeah.
did very well.
Yes.
Good. Why don't you talk a little bit about your high school career and on the dance team? What were some of the highlights for you there?
Yeah, so freshman year, it was going from studio dance, transitioning right into Helias. It's a big transition because studio dance and high school dance team are two completely different worlds. So transitioning to that was a little bit harder. I had to get used to the different styles, kind of realize what I needed to do at the studio versus what I needed to be giving at high school. So it was a big transition for me, as it is for every single dancer that has to experience that. um, but freshman year, experiencing state for the first time was so fun. And if you don't know, in the high school dance team world, I don't know anything. I don't know if it's the same for cheer, but I know for at least for dance, you have to go to at least 2 to 3 regional competitions. So being able to compete with my team 2 to 3 times, kind of working onto our goals of like each competition we wanted to score higher, each competition we wanted to get less judges comments, each competition we wanted to change this or change that. It was really cool for me because I knew that we were working up to a higher score or a higher accomplishment to get to state. And so once you got to state, they're either really early mornings or really late nights, whether that's like doing team bonding activities, if you're competing in the solo round on Friday night, or if you're in like the first A or B group on Saturday for the actual state competition. It was something really cool because we hear about all the football and basketball and baseball teams competing against all these schools from across the state, and getting to experience that against those people in dance was really cool for me because anytime any of like my friends or my brother would talk about another team, I'd be like, "Oh, they have a really good dance team," and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, of course Alex would say that." But it was really cool just because you get to just kind of get to experience and get to really hone in on what everybody else gets to experience that you don't usually get with dance. So
Yeah.
state has definitely been a really big highlight each year with the dance team. Um, my sophomore year, we actually got second at state, which was a huge accomplishment. Our team has not been in the top four, I think, in state until my freshman year. So we got third my freshman year, second my sophomore year, and then third the last 2 years. So it's been really cool for us, and we've just kind of worked up and up and up as much as we can. But I mean, the competition just gets harder each year. So
Yeah.
yeah, those have been really cool experiences. And then I also love NBA camp, which is where I've received All American the last 4 years. It's called National Dance Alliance, and then there's also Universal Dance Alliance. So they're two really similar organizations that we kind of been bouncing back and forth the last few years.
Hmm.
But they're very similar, where you just go to camp with your team for about 3 days, where we get to compete for the first time, learn new material, kind of get some team bonding experiences in. We get to kind of live in the dorms or wherever we are at on campuses with our teammates, which is super fun. But that's always a highlight for me every single year, just because it's super fun, kind of getting to know the new team because it comes right around summertime. So yeah, that's always been a super big highlight, and I love it every year.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna miss
That's
it.
good. Serves as motivation to keep getting back there, and it must have
Right.
been some really stiff competition for you guys. I mean, obviously, your goal was to keep getting better and better, and you had some stiff competition. So,
Yes.
well done, though. I mean, that's a great accomplishment. Third in
Yes.
state. That's great.
Yeah.
So, good job. I want to get into we'll get into a little bit more as far as preparation and the hard work that you put in for that. But before we do that, I want to talk about you had an injury at age 11 and talk about what the doctors found and how you navigated through all that to continue at a high level.
Yeah, so I used to be on, it's called the Raindrops team. It was a kind of a small cheerleaders team for the OKC Thunder, which they won yesterday, so go Thunder. Um, but so I was on their team for
That's good.
about 2 years. And I was just at practice one night, and we had finished up learning the rest of our routine that we were going to compete at the coming Wednesday game. And we were getting to our ending pose, and I kind of stepped over my foot weird, and we hit our ending pose, and I was like, "Ooh, that kind of hurt." And usually whenever you get hurt in dance, I mean, you kinda just walk it off and you don't really worry about it. Maybe take a couple ibuprofen and get over it. But I was in the grocery store with my mom later that night, and I was like, "Ow, mom, like, my foot really hurts." She was like, "This is weird, like, you usually don't complain about these types of little injuries." So, the next day at school, I had it wrapped. I kinda was doing the ice and heat and elevating it kinda thing, taking some ibuprofen, and then finally later in the week, my dad was like, "Okay, let's get her in to see somebody because this isn't very usual for her." So, I went ahead and I actually went to, like, a gymnastics and dance specialist in Oklahoma City, and that's whenever we did my X-rays and they realized I had an extra bone in not only my left foot, which is where I was injured, but my right foot as well. So, hearing that kinda scared me because I was like, "Oh my gosh, an extra bone. How am I gonna do that?" But what they had found is that I had a ligament kinda pushed out of place, and that extra bone was, like, blocking it from going back in, and they put me in a boot for 2 weeks. I was still supposed to ice, heat, levitate, kind of all the things. So I did that, and then I started to think I was like, "Oh, I think it's better. It's okay, like, I'll be fine." So then I would go back to dance, and then sooner or later it would happen again. And all my dance friends have a joke. Like anytime I'm like on the floor, like covering my foot, they're like, "Oh, Alex's bone is out again." Um, but yeah, I've learned just to kind of anytime it happens, I'm super quick to like know what I need to do. It got pretty bad whenever I first moved to Missouri and I was in practice like usual and it happened again. But there's a different types of severity that it happens. Like sometimes I can kind of push it back in and it won't bother me the rest of the night, or other times I'll try and do all my tricks and everything and it won't work. So one night it didn't work and I kind of got a little worried. So we went ahead and went to Capital Region here in Jefferson City and they gave me a couple like physical therapy type of things that I can do. But the only way to fix it is through surgery, which has like a 6 month bed rest recovery time. And that is 6 months I do not have to recover in my bed. So they were like, you can get the surgery and we can fix it up for you and it'll be all good. Or you can kind of do what you've been doing for the past 6 years of your life and
Yeah,
kinda just whenever it happens, do the PT that we've given you, put some ice on it, take some ibuprofen, and kinda walk it off. So, that's kinda how I've been going about it. It actually, knock on wood, hasn't happened in quite some time, and I'm
good,
actually preparing for nationals with my competitive team right now. So,
good.
after nationals, then I'll kinda have a little bit of a break before I need to do a lot with dance. So I'm kinda
Mhm.
hoping until then I can keep on my little tricks and things to keep it in place, but it's
Yeah,
been kinda tough for me, but everyone has their own little things that they have to kinda power through, and that's just sadly what I
yeah,
have.
yeah. Well, it sounds like you've done a good job with it, and you know what you got to do, and so
Right, yes.
yeah, absolutely. You mentioned a little bit about some of your career accolades, being a four-time All-American. Also, you were top 20 in the Missouri State Dance Solos for 4 consecutive years. Uh, just talk about what that means to you, and receiving those awards, and you know, just how's that make you feel? And are you hitting those goals? Is there more out there for you that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, so my freshman year was my first time obviously competing in the state solo competition. And that was kind of like the first experience I've had with competing with that many girls that I knew had lived around me. So I kind of knew some of them from past camps or past competitions, which was cool to kind of experience that with all of them. But yeah, so my all 4 years, I have actually choreographed my own solos, which has been super rewarding for me. Usually you get a choreographer either from your studio or some people will even go out and hire them by finding them through other like conventions or competitions or things. But I took it upon myself freshman year. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this for me. This is going to be kind of a little experiment for myself, and I'm going to choreograph my own solos and kind of see where it gets me because I've always worked with many other choreographers, whether that's from my studio or my studio in Oklahoma or kind of wherever. So yeah, competing those solos all 4 years was no matter what I got, I always was just super proud of myself because it's hard, one, putting yourself out there on a floor or stage in front of people that you don't know, and along with that, just choreographing my own pieces is something that I've been really proud of myself for, just because you don't really experience a lot of that
Mhm.
in the dance world. So, yeah, just that was always super rewarding for me. Luckily, I was able to place top 20 freshman year. I think I did place fifth, which was really cool. Sophomore year, I think I got 15th, I want to say. I don't know, all the placements kind of get blurry in my head. Um, but yeah, the competition got stiffer the older you got, which
Mhm.
was obviously going to happen. But at regional competitions, I think I've placed first maybe four times throughout the 4 years. I've had this last year was my first year I was able to compete at the conference CMAC competition, which
Mhm.
I received second for my solo. And then there were a few other regional competitions where I would get like second, third, or fourth. So
Mhm.
I've been really proud of my accomplishments, whether that's top 20 or top five. I'm just super
Yeah.
proud of myself for putting myself out there and taking on that role as a self choreographer, which is super challenging.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, four-time All American. I'm super proud of myself. Freshman year, I was the only freshman at the camp to receive, because for All American for dance, you have to get invited to try out,
Mhm.
or at the Universal Dance Alliance, your coaches submit who gets to try out. So at National Dance Alliance, like the staff, they'll be watching you all weekend, and then they'll kind of decide, oh, this person serves what All
Mhm.
American serves, so we should have them try out. So freshman year, I was the only freshman at the whole camp to get nominated for it, and then there were only three of us on Helias out of I think eight of us who were
Mhm.
nominated to try out. So three of us were able to receive the All American medal to be on the All American team. Same thing went for junior year. I made it as well. And then sophomore and senior year, we did UDA, which was Universal Dance Alliance. So my coach did nominate me. So I was able to do that, which I was very grateful for. But yeah, four-time All American. It's not something that a lot can say. So I am super proud of myself for it. But yeah, those are experiences that I'll never forget. They've been super fun and super rewarding and all. So yeah.
Awesome. Very good. A lot of hard work that you put in. Also, you were mentioning a little bit about your teammates. How have they inspired you to be better?
I have never had a teammate that I have not learned something from. And I have always just really enjoyed my time, whether that's in practice, team bonding, early morning coffee runs, getting to know them on a deeper level to where they're some of my best friends and girls who I will keep up with for the rest of my life. At Helias, I got a few friendships that I carried on throughout all 4 years, and they just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And some of the girls I now like, even though I'm not at Helias anymore, doing practice with them every single week anymore. Um, we'll go get coffee, we'll go hang out, we'll go shopping, literally anything. I love those girls to pieces, and I'm lucky enough with my commotion girls on my competitive team. I get to spend the whole summer with them until we hit nationals July 9th through the 13th. So I'm super grateful that I have this time with all of them. They all inspire me every single day, whether that's working harder for kind of like my saying, do it for the girl next to you, whether that's like working harder because they may think that you should put in a little bit more work, and whether that's like giving constructive criticism or just kind of giving a team pep talk, like anything like that. I just really take everything that my teammates say to heart, and I'm always just trying to like push the extra level for them, because in dance it's a very team sport. If you're not putting in the same effort as the girl next to you, your routine's not going to turn out the best, your corrections aren't going to get fixed. All the things that go into dance are all taken individually, and everybody has to put in that same amount of work, or else it's not going to happen. It's not an individual sport. It's something that everyone has to give that same amount of effort in. And yeah, my teammates are some of my best girls, and I can't imagine doing any of it without them.
Yeah. Well, part of that too, which will lead into this. Talk about being a captain and how you took your leadership seriously. I mean, obviously you're learning from them, but they're learning from you. What did that look like for you as far as captain?
Yeah, so I am captain for my commotion competitive team in Columbia, and I have been for the last 2 years now, and it has been so much fun. I really had to find the balance between like staying a peer and staying a teammate and not treating anybody different just because now I had this leadership role. It was hard to navigate just because you don't want girls to not take your leadership role seriously, but you also don't want to act like you're on a hierarchy compared to them and they're looking up to you and you're looking down to them. So, kind of navigating that in the beginning was not tough, but it was definitely a learning experience. And yeah, I have done lots of things like plan team bonding activities. I lead stretch and warm up every single morning for practice. I plan a lot of events and things, and I work with all of our moms on all of our committees, whether that's planning outfits or planning team bonding activities or getting the girls together or kind of anything like that. I kind of take a role in, or I plan gifts for the girls on what I get them for Christmas, or if there's ever a problem on the team, I'm one to kind of handle it before it gets to our coaches or teachers. That way, we don't have any drama circulating in the team. And it's just been super fun and just something that I'm always going to forever cherish. And just being kind of a big sister to all the girls has just been something super special to me. And I've really created a lot of special bonds with some of the littles or even some of my older girls who will probably be in my wedding one day. So, yeah, I've just really loved being able to have that leadership role and kind of just act as a girl that everyone can kind of go to.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure that that was a positive influence for somebody that we're going to talk about after the break, but we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and then we'll get back with the second half. You're doing an outstanding job. It's a lot of great information. We're just getting to have a little bit extra. That's why we call it One Nation and SLM Extra. We get to find out a little bit more that we couldn't put into the article. So thank you for sure. You're doing an outstanding job. So
Yeah, of
with
course.
so with that, we'll go ahead and take our quick break, and we will be back in just a moment.
Okay, sounds good.
Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, sponsor of this program as well as in Sports Locker Magazine. They've been with us for years. They've been in mid-Missouri for years, helping people that need jobs to be able to find those jobs and helping employers to find the people they need to fill those positions. They do an outstanding job. Paula Benny and her team are just great people, and they work very hard for you. They work hard for the community as well. On September 27th, Paula and her, several other people have been a part of Redemption Inside the Walls, which is a Christian concert that comes to Jefferson City. This is the 7th year, and this year will be Big Daddy Weave, and so excited to be able to participate in that. And just what a great thing to bring to our community. Great family-friendly, affordable time, and we also get to nominate different people, which has been taking place right now through the News Tribune. The Good Samaritan Awards, and Paula again and her team, along with the News Tribune, we put that all together. That started way back when we had the tornado in 2019, and it's been a huge success recognizing people for the outstanding work that they do in our community. Along with CNS Employment Solutions, their sponsorship, we also have Big Whiskeys, and they sponsor our Coach of the Issue. And in this particular issue, the May-June, Coach Alex Kendall from the Helias dance team. She's our featured coach, and our coaches, they put so much time into our student athletes. They spend a lot of time away from their families, spend late evenings. I mean, they're just constantly pouring into our kids, and we just want to show appreciation to them, and we're thankful for Big Whiskey's helping us to recognize them. And so, I mean, look at all that hardware that Coach Kendall has, and we'll get to hear from Alexandria here in just a little bit about what she thinks about her. And again, we just want to appreciate our sponsors. Well, we've been talking to Alexandria Underwood tonight, and she's doing an outstanding job. And I'm going to go ahead and bring her on back on in. Um, Outstanding job, and I'm glad you're still here. You didn't hang up on me, so that's good.
Nope, still here.
All right, we're good. Well, we talked about the coach of the issue and your coach, Alex. Tell us a little bit about her and also other coaches you have and how they help make you better.
Yeah, Coach Alex I've been lucky enough to have her all 4 years. Sadly, last year, which was my senior year, was her last year. So this year, the Helias dance team has a new coach. But yeah, Coach Alex was great to have all 4 years. She has her times where she's super bubbly and fun in practice and cracks some jokes that all have us almost crying, laughing on the floor. But then she also does a really great job of balancing those fun moments and also just reminds the team like we're here for a reason, we're working up to a goal. And that's what all of the 6 a.m. practices and all those long, hard hours we're putting in for that's what we're here to do. We're here to entertain the fans on Friday nights at football games. And then on those Saturdays where we're competing up bright and early, we're there to bring home a win and kind of represent Helias as a whole. So, yeah, she was great to have. I'm going to miss her so much. And yeah, we got really lucky with having her for 4 years.
Well, that photo that was a lot of hardware there with her, so that's
Yes.
pretty awesome, and you were a part of all that, so
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, you're still busy with your team this summer, but what else you're going to be doing this summer?
Yeah, so I'm a nanny for a family here in Jefferson City. I watch them every Tuesday and Thursday, and I also am teaching at Commotion this year. So I teach 3 classes every Tuesday night, and then I'm also taking my own classes on Mondays just to kind of stay in shape and stay kind of focused on what we have coming for nationals. And then every Thursday morning, I do private lessons with younger dancers from I think I'm doing 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. right now. And then I start rehearsal from 1 p.m. to I think we get done at 5:30. It kind of depends on the week. Um, but yeah, staying super busy during the weeks. And then sometimes I'll pick up shifts at Initially Yours here in Jefferson City. But yeah, I've been working there for quite some time. I've been super busy this summer, so I haven't been able to really work there that much with grad parties, senior things,
Hmm.
freshman in college things, everything that you could think of. But yeah, every once in a while, whenever I have a chance, I'll go in there and kind of work a couple shifts and see the girls and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
staying busy,
It just doesn't sound like you have anything to do at all. I don't know what the deal is.
right?
No, that's a full schedule. So that's you're a hard worker, and that's obvious through your accomplishments as well as just kind of reaching some of your plans and goals, and you'll be rewarded for that. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you.
What was your favorite place so far to travel to and compete at?
Oh boy, there's been a lot. I will say in dance, luckily, especially with Helias and my regional competitions that I go to with my competitive team, we do not have to travel super far, which is nice whenever it comes to like having school on Mondays or having to leave school early on Fridays or things like that. But I've always really enjoyed going to Kansas City because every other year the state competition switches off from Hy-Vee Arena to Family Arena in St. Louis. So I really enjoy going to Hy-Vee Arena in Kansas City whenever we have state there. One, because it's a fun town for the team just to kind of explore and kind of have our team bonding things at or go to dinner as a team whatever it may be. And then also Hy-Vee Arena is just super nice in general, and it's huge. So it's really cool to kind of have state there because like people will go to concerts there or have like these big tournaments there, and we're like, yep, that's where we do state dance too. So yeah, that's super cool, and that's always been just a fun one to go to, and we all enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, good. I can remember playing basketball in high school and going from, just the normal gyms. And then when you would go and play at a major college gymnasium, I mean, it was just like, oh my goodness, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
right. It's like, wow, this is different.
Yeah, definitely different. What are some of the challenges that you had during your senior year, and how did you overcome those things?
Yeah, overall, just being as busy as I make myself, whether that's with all the jobs that I like to take on or the two teams that I'm trying to balance between. Honestly, just time management. Luckily, the past 4 years has taught me a ton about time management. If you ask me about my time tree app, which is my digital calendar, I could talk about it for hours. I love that thing. Um, but yeah, just kind of figuring out how to balance your time and kind of figuring out a daily schedule because I mean, either 2 times a week we would have 6 a.m. practice. And if we didn't have 6 a.m. practice, I would try and get in the studio early that morning, kind of just to start my day off right. And then, or if we had after school practice until 5, and then we would be driving up to Columbia to start class at 5:30, and then getting home at like 10 p.m. It was kind of tough just because I was like, when am I going to do my homework? When am I going to study? When am I going to eat? Um, kind of the basic things that you have to kind of get used to. But yeah, just kind of navigating through time management along with trying to find time to, go to the basketball game, or if I can go to the away game on Friday because I have practice the next morning on Saturday. So
Mhm.
kind of just trying to balance out being a regular high school student, but also taking on so many other things that make me
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But yeah, I've been super blessed to be able to have all those opportunities. So kind of getting onto the skill of time management was tough, but it's been super rewarding now because luckily I've already tackled so much in my life. So
Hmm.
hopefully this next chapter I'm kind of prepared for, whether that's with sorority or school or jobs or anything like
Hmm.
that. I kind of have the time management thing down.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, that's very good. I mean, that's going to definitely benefit you as you move on to this next phase. So that's, I mean, very, very well done. Good job.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. What would you say that you enjoyed most about your time at Helias Catholic High School?
I would definitely have to say the friendships that I've made and all those awesome memories, whether that's the getting to cheer at the state game this year for football, or getting to do like the implosion that we do where the guys pretty much act like the dance team and we get to kind of dance with them. So just all those really fun experiences that the average high school student wouldn't get if they weren't on the dance team. And then all those friendships that I've made along the way with either the underclassmen who I probably would have never gotten the chance to talk to if we weren't on the same team, or those upperclassmen in my grade who I never may have even gotten nearly as close as I did with them. Just those friendships and being able to experience all those opportunities that we were given was just such a great thing to have, and I wouldn't imagine my high school career without it. And I'm just really gonna miss all those girls and all those experiences and cheering on the sidelines every Friday night and things like that.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is you'll have those memories that you can hold on to, and then hopefully be able to keep some of those relationships as you continue to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what would you say? What inspired you to be the best version of yourself?
My inspiration and my motivation that I have every single day seriously does come from the people I surround myself with, whether that's my family, my friends, my mentors, my peers. All those people that I'm surrounding myself with every single day just really are what empowers me to do my best. Whether that's in the studio or whether that's in the classroom or whether that's at whatever job I'm working that day. Just always striving to be better and result of doing my best for the good of others. But I think dance has really what had that influence on me to have that kind of mindset and always kind of strive for my best for the good of others, because I mean that's what you have to do in dance. Like I said earlier, it's a very big team sport, and if you aren't doing your best, then it's not going to be the best team result. So I kind of think that's where that idea kind of came from, and where I kind of stemmed from was just honestly doing my best for the person next to me, or doing my best for my mom, or doing my best for my teachers. Just kind of things like that, always giving me a goal to work towards.
Yeah. Well, that's great, and taking that pride in doing the best that you can in everything that you do. Again, that's something that's going to translate as you continue to move on to the next part of your life, and then and beyond that. So you mentioned a little bit about, we talked a little bit about some people that inspired you, but why don't you talk about your family and what do they mean to you?
Yeah, so like I said, my mom's kind of the one who got us started in dance, and me and my sister have kind of been through the dance journey together, from switching studios whenever we were younger to moving states and kind of navigating what it looked like for our next step in our dance life. My sister has always been such a big inspiration for me. She's just a super hard worker, and she's really able to adapt to any environment she's thrown in, whether that looks like moving states and having to switch her senior year of high school. She handled it with grace, and just it really just showed me that you are the one who is going to make your experience out of whatever you want to make out of it. And she is just such an inspiration whenever it comes to kind of stepping into a new environment and just trusting myself. And then my brother, he's just been such a rock in our family. He is always super lighthearted, and it's just kind of always been that like big brother overprotective kind of guy. So he's always got my back in no matter what. And then my mom, kind of like I said, she started me off in dance, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. She's my biggest cheerleader, and I mean, if she has to drive 4.5 hours for a competition that she may not even be able to stay for because she has to get to work the next day, she will. And she's just always been the one to make all those sacrifices for me, which I'm forever grateful for. And my dad is my biggest hype man ever. He never fails to make me laugh or brighten the mood in high intense and stress competition modes, and he's just the best. He will always lighten the mood. He's always cracking jokes, always trying to mock dance moves to make me laugh. So yeah, he's the
Okay.
best.
Well, I was just thinking about that because we just had Father's Day, and a lot of people were posting dad jokes. I mean, can you think of one of his corniest dad jokes?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think he probably said one 5 minutes before I got onto this. He loves doing impressions. That's one of his
Okay,
favorite things.
who's the
Yeah,
best
he
one?
can. Oh boy. I'm trying to think. He does a really good Elvis Presley impression.
Okay,
Really good Elvis Presley
singing or
impression.
talking?
Both,
All right.
both. Yeah, my dad and brother both are pretty big with the guitar and I don't even know, they even have harmonicas now.
Okay.
They both can play the piano, so yeah, we kind of have a little band going on in our family, and they never fail to not entertain us.
That's awesome. If they have never heard of Tim Hawkins, have them look him up. He's a Christian comedian, and
Okay,
he does a lot of parodies through music. They would love it since
okay.
they like to
I'll
entertain.
tell
So
him.
yeah,
Yes, I'll have to tell him. That's awesome.
yeah, and he lives in St. Louis, so he's not far from here. He's
Oh, awesome.
one of
Cool.
the best comedians I've ever seen. So all right, you know. I already know the answer to this because you really don't have any, but what are some things that you like to do in your spare time?
Hmm. Um, let's see. Away from the studio and away from, I really like to, this may be kind of funny to you because you may not understand it, but I love to create Pinterest boards, and I'm actually I've switched my major from what the article says, but I'm now going into interior architecture and design at the University of Arkansas. So I am one to kind of like plan future like bedrooms and plan
Hmm.
future like fun rooms and whatever house I am planning in my head. But yeah, I love kind of putting together just little boards here and there and
Hmm.
put little pins in different places just to kind of like it's kind of like a mood board, but for space.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of what striked my interest in interior design.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I really like if I have any free time, I'll just kind of like twiddle my thumbs on Pinterest and create
Yeah.
a couple spaces that I'm like, oh, that would be really cool. But yeah, that's just kind of something fun I like to do.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm glad you're gonna be able to jump into something that you really like doing. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and you mentioned Pinterest. So my wife used to do wedding planning for years, and she was thankful that Pinterest was not in place when she did that because now, oh my goodness, all the
Oh,
different,
yeah. I mean, people will have their wedding Pinterest boards from the age of 9.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I cannot imagine having a bride be like, "Okay, here's my Pinterest board from 2018."
yes, yes, and here's my budget, and I know that this is extravagant, but make it so.
Right, right. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about your plans to attend Arkansas. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? Why you decided to go there, and just what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so one of my cousins, he may have been featured, I don't know. He graduated and I want to say 2019 or 2020. Vito Calvaruso, he went ahead and played football as the kicker at the University of Arkansas, and he had been there for I think 3 years, and then he transferred to another school, and then he ended up back at Arkansas. So ever since he went there, we would go to games here and there just to kind of watch him play. And the second I stepped onto that campus, I was like, this place is beautiful. Obviously, I thought about, the University of Missouri, just because so many people from Jefferson City end up there. And then since being from Oklahoma, my dad's a huge Oklahoma Sooners fan. So that was always kind of a thought as well. But I don't know, ever since I stepped onto the campus, I was like, this place is amazing. And I've been there multiple times throughout the past years, whether that's games or just kind of visiting, and I just really fell in love with it. And the game atmosphere, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, anything, I mean, the stands or the arena or wherever it is are packed. I mean, there's no like NBA or NFL team or MLB team in the state of Arkansas, so all of the Arkansas fans are for the university. So it's just something that's really been great because the atmosphere of any game day is crazy. And then all the tradition that's within the university is awesome. But yeah, it's just been really great to kind of experience like all of those things. And I just have always wanted to be part of it more and more each year. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
super excited. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited.
yeah, that's that's going to be good. And you are correct. Your cousin was in Sports Locker magazine, back
Okay, yeah, I thought he was.
around that
Yeah,
time. So yeah.
yeah,
And it's interesting that your dad, likes the Oklahoma Sooners. I grew up an Oklahoma Sooners fan, football.
yes,
Absolutely love that time, and I bet he's probably pretty excited that since they're in the SEC now, that if he happens to come down and hang out with you, you can
right.
go see a
Yes,
game or something.
yeah, he, ever since that announcement came out, it has been an ongoing argument in the family with our Mizzou side and our OU side. We're like, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? But yeah, it's been a fun little gamble in the family.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Alexander, you've done a great job, but I do have a couple of just little fun questions for you, and then we'll let you get out of here. Again, I know you have a busy schedule, so um, we like to call these speed round questions. So I just want to ask you, what is your favorite go-to snack or meal after you're done competing?
Oh my gosh. Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Okay.
I love that place. They have these cheese chicken quesadillas, and then I get a smoothie, and I'm set. It's
Okay.
my best and most favorite after meal or snack, whatever you want to call it. It's my favorite.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds really good.
Yeah, it's so
Uh,
good. Yeah.
if there's any place in the world you could travel to, where would that be and why?
I would have to say like Athens, Greece, or Paris, France.
Okay.
Those have been two of my bucket list places that I want to see. One, because of like all of the amazing buildings and historic places that you can go to, and two, they just seem like the most beautiful places to ever be, and those are definitely two on my bucket list that I definitely want to touch base on.
Yeah. There's a young man that will actually be coming to minister for me at our church here in September, and he has been stationed in Athens for several years, and he's part of a sports um, kind of I'm going to just say a sports organization trying to incorporate um, connections with different cultures through sports. And he just talks about, Greece just being a melting pot of people, kind of like the United States is. But
Mm-hmm.
um, he really loves it there. And they're just now getting done with, I think, well, they're in the middle of it, putting together an international soccer tournament for the homeless, which I thought,
Oh,
wow,
wow.
that's
Yeah, that's
pretty
awesome.
amazing. So anyway, yes, he loves it there, so you probably like that. We've been to Paris, France, to minister to some missionaries that were there learning the language before they went to the Congo, and um, beautiful architecture. If you like architecture, obviously you'd enjoy that. So
Yes.
the only thing I didn't care for was all the military police that were around everywhere, and I'm
Oh
just not
boy,
used to
I'm
seeing
sure.
that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, but anyway, well, I hope you get to go do those. Now we're going to finish with probably the most important question, and maybe your family they could verify this. But what is your least favorite chore to do around the house, and why?
Oh boy. I would have to say, hmm, probably dishes.
Okay.
Dishes are not a favorite of mine, even though I do them pretty often. My mom usually will send me a text if I'm home, or if I don't have babysitting that day, she's like, "I hope the dishes are done by the time I come home." I'm like, "Okay, got it." But probably because they pile up the most.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't mind doing anything else. I do my own laundry. I'll vacuum or kind of dust or clean up wherever my mom needs me to. But yeah, dishes are not my favorite. Not my favorite.
If we were to be able to mark down what's the number one answer, that's it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's
I'm
a lot
sure.
of people. That and cleaning the bathroom, those two right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, Alexander, you've done a great job. I do want to give you the opportunity if you want to give any other shout out or thank you for anyone. Feel free to go ahead and do that now, and then we'll close out the program.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to thank all my friends and family and all the coaches and mentors and teammates and everyone that I've been able to experience all these opportunities I've had for the last 4 years. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, very good. If you will hold on while I close out the program, I'll just quickly visit with you afterwards. And
Okay.
you've done an
Okay.
outstanding
Thank you
job.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Absolutely. All right, everybody. You've been watching One Nation, a Sports Locker magazine extra, and tonight we had Alex Underwood, graduate of Helias Catholic High School and future Arkansas Razorback. So we're excited about what lies ahead for her, and we really enjoyed talking to her tonight. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. Um, that way they're able to get in here and get a little bit extra from Alexandria, and she again did an outstanding job. All right, we'll be back here next week and on Monday at 7 o'clock on One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and until then, God bless you, and we will see you next week.